Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. Azar Salesman.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smells like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. They're just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point and Click Podcast. My name is John the Wise, and I'm here with Czar Salesman.
Hey, how's it going? Them Democratic debates, though, am I right?
Who gives a fuck? I heard that they were like up against each other's throats, and it's like, hey, I saw some tweets saying like, hey guys, we're on the same side. There's some weird shit. What is that all about, dude?
I mean, it's regular stuff. It's like they all have similar platforms, but some of them are more corporate than others, so they just argue about dumb shit.
Okay, well, politics are boring.
There's a lot of interrupting going on. That's normal for the debate stage.
Right before the podcast started, though, I did see this this video some guy made on YouTube about AOC, that lady, Alexandra Costa Cortez, whatever the fuck.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you. Those pictures of her crying at a concentration camp. Have you seen those that are going around? The refugee
memes?
Camps. Yeah, well, they're apparently
Refugee camps. They are concentration camps. but
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. She's calling them
per
concentration.
definition.
Yeah, I agree. She's calling them that.
It's like people rewriting history and calling the Japanese concentration camps internment camps.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because
Because of what happened in Germany.
Yeah, and as Prince is saying, apparently she was
Yeah, I
staring
saw
at
the
a
memes.
parking lot. What the fuck, dude? What is that, dude? She was looking at a parking lot. She wasn't even looking at a camp.
I don't know because I didn't see the actual pictures. I just saw the memes.
Yeah, there's all kinds of memes, but that's not what this podcast is about. We talk about video games.
Video games ain't no shit.
Dude. I don't know about you, but
Me neither.
I've been taken by this auto chess craze, dude.
Well, yeah, but you've been playing fucking Underlords still.
No, I play TFT now. I'm a TFT
Oh, were you?
convert.
Oh, yeah, I saw you on there. Never mind.
Yeah. I just I was waiting for queue times to be normal and for the game to be like, all right, it's out, and now it's out. So I was like, okay, I'll just start playing this. And Dota Underlords is on mobile, so if I'm like out and about, I could play Dota Underlords or whatever.
You may want to adjust your noise gate a little bit. You cut out every now and then.
Oh, I do? On mine,
Yeah.
It sounds fine. Is it just on Discord?
On Discord, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but if you're recording on Twitch, you may get some of those cutouts on the
Yeah,
audio.
no, on Twitch it's different. So hold on.
Just let you know. You may just want to lower it just
All
a
right.
little bit.
There we go. How's this?
Back to the technical streams, boys. That's better.
Is it better? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just on Discord. So if you're listening on, it sounds fine on Twitch. That's all that matters. Czar's just bitching. That's all it is.
I'm just bitching, okay? There, it's my pleasure. I need to be able to hear what John's saying. Thank you very much.
What's a big deal, dude? What's a big deal? Yeah.
I liked Underlords for what it was, but the problems I had with it was it very much felt like a mobile game built from the ground up and then put on PC.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games that doesn't look that great, but it has good gameplay.
Yeah,
And
but Dota doesn't look that great. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's made by Valve. Of course, it's not gonna look great. They don't make games anymore.
It's made by Valve like 100 years ago, dude. And Team Fight Tactics is pretty much just League of Legends on a chessboard. So I like it. It's fun. I won my first game yesterday, so
Ooh, baby.
hell yeah, dude. Apparently I figured out the strategy on how to like because there's the whole like saving your money and then spending your money, like how do you do it? It's different in Underlords than it is in Team Fight Tactics. You don't need to save as much. So, yeah, I figured it
Right.
out. It's fun, and now I just want to play it all day, all night. So, you know.
Oh Lord. I've played a decent amount. I've won a couple. I think it's more difficult than Underlords.
Yeah.
But I never played the original auto chess mod on Dota 2. But from everyone's accounts that did play it, they're saying that TFT is much more like the auto chess mod than Underlords is.
Mm.
Um, Mostly because of just like how items work.
Yeah, the items are a lot more in depth in League. League is more in depth, I would say, because I don't want to say it's more complicated because it's not. It's just it has more content, I think.
Yeah,
than
it just has
Underlords.
more things adding to the RNG and complexity of just like what could happen and what can fuck you over.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
My
lot of
one
like factors.
complaint, yeah, my one complaint is that, like, of course, you know, the extra RNG element of, oh, what items will you get? But in this, it's whether you're going to fucking get one or not.
Yeah.
Like the PvE runs, you're not guaranteed the same amount of items as someone else.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't like that just because you already have you have the RNG element of, you know, the champion pools and everything like that, which adds, you know, you got to make the right choices, but you can still get fucked by RNG versus someone else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that that also happens with items, but it also means you just may not get an item, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So while it could, like, if everyone got the same amount of items, you're looking at he might get the items he wants and you don't get the items you want. That's shitty RNG, and that's just part of the game. But now it's like this person may get all the items that they want for the comp that they're trying to build. You may get no items.
Yeah, exactly.
You just lose. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't kill the creep, you lose HP as well. Like
yeah.
as
I
if
mean,
it was
they do a couple things like that to make it go faster because Underlords matches can go on for a very long time.
they go mostly from 30 to 50 turns is like the end of the game for Underlords. And then team fight tactics, you don't even need to hit max level to win. In Underlords, you're gonna hit max level if you win. That's it. Like,
If you're
no matter
if
what.
you're going to the end for, like, if you go to the end like 5-4 in Underlords, you're going to be at least level 9. If you're
Yeah.
going to like the last 2-3, you're probably hitting 10, which is max.
Exactly. And in
TFT, I usually hit 7.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I won at level 7.
I've seen people like save up their money to try to be max level and they've lost to a level 6, level 7 guy. You know what I mean? So even though they have
Right.
more people on the board, the level 6 or 7 guy with his 3-star units is more powerful. And
Yeah.
Prince is asking, doesn't Underlords get updates every day, whereas TFTs are every few weeks? And I've heard Underlords is a bit more balanced. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll start and then you can go.
Good.
For your opinion. So, one, there's different approaches to balancing that different companies take all the time. One is the constant tweaking balances versus the gather as much information and try to make more accurate changes over longer periods of time, right?
Yeah.
Those are two of the main balancing I can't think of words today, but that's how the two ways companies tackle balancing, right? Usually they either do frequent balance changes or they wait for a lot of data and try it in an attempt to be like more accurate with their changes.
Yeah.
League tends to do that in general, I think. And I think they're doing the same thing with auto chess. But there's also more issues like when we talked about the items that make it harder to balance TFT versus Underlords.
Yeah.
items are they have impact in Underlords. Items definitely do, but they are not as impactful as they are in TFT.
Yeah.
Items are very impactful in TFT, and there's many, 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 many more items than there are in Underlords.
Yeah, and some of the and like as far as updates go, I feel like Underlords has gotten more updates than TFT, but it hasn't been like
Mhm.
every day or anything like that.
No, it is not every day. They do not
No.
put out balance updates every day. I think they've been doing it a little more. They've been doing it more often, but at the TFT is just gonna get balanced with regular League of Legends patches probably.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like what every 2-3 weeks or something,
Yeah,
which is just normal for MOBAs.
and Underlords is I don't feel like it's balanced at all. There's actually some combinations that are just dog shit. Like you can't use it.
Oh yeah. They're
If you
like
build it, it's just not gonna work at all. You're not gonna win.
no, like warlocks, druids. You're not gonna get anywhere with that.
Nowhere. You're gonna get nowhere. Everybody either does knights and warriors as their front line, and then it's in my opinion it's been hunters and maybe mages sometimes, but
Dude, as soon as the first time when I dominated with the Heartless Hunters,
heartless
I was
hunters,
like,
dude.
there it is.
Murders.
It destroys people.
Yeah.
But when we were playing until this most recent patch for Underlords, Knights sucked dick.
Sucked.
Right?
Yeah.
They were pretty much useless. Same with Dragons. Knights and Dragons sucked dick. Useless. And then everyone's like, oh, they put out frequent, balance changes, which is fine if that's the choice you want to make.
Yeah.
They made a change to Knights. Knights became instantly OP. If you built 4 Knights, you win the game. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're putting out more updates, but that doesn't mean that they're more balanced.
Yeah, it needs more tweaking for sure and stuff like that. And if anybody thinks it's balanced, it's only because Underlords has way less content than TFT. TFT has like so many more combinations, so many more classifications, and it's also like the way that the characters like attack and move and everything is very similar to how they are in League, and that adds a huge factor to the game because like Garen's spin to win in League of Legends is super OP, and guess
So
what?
strong.
It's so
Oh.
fucking strong in this one too, and he's a basic unit. He's a one cost.
Yeah,
unit.
he's a tier 1 unit.
Yeah.
The way the tiers are I feel that the tiered units, as you level up, you have higher RNG chance to get more expensive units that are a higher tier.
Yeah.
They're more impactful.
Yep.
Like a level 2 Draven is stronger than a level 3 Tristana.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's a 1 tier unit, and he's like a 5 tier or 4 tier unit, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Um,
Which is good because you're not going to get a level 3 Draven, dude. It's going to be
No,
it would have to be ridiculous RNG for you to get it,
yeah, you probably could, but it like you said, it'd be ridiculous RNG.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the game is really all about in TFT it's more in depth, I feel like, and there's more strategy and there's more unknown. Like people don't know all the good combinations yet, and the different units actually have their own tier list too. You know what I mean? Like Garen is a 1 cost unit, but he's better than almost all the other 1 cost units except for maybe Graves or Nidalee.
Nidalee is so strong.
So like, and those are all 1 cost units, and they're like S tier. You know what I mean? So there's that they need to work on as well, because there's some of them that are.
I mean,
just,
Underlords has that as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Like Kunkka. If you find Kunkka, you grab Kunkka because his ult's super powerful.
Fucking
Same thing in
ridiculous.
TFT. You see Aurelion Soul, you get Aurelion Soul.
Yeah, Aurelion.
Because his ult is ridiculous.
Even if you're not
Especially
building,
if someone's trying to build Yordles, you shit on them.
Yeah, it's even if you're not building like whatever I think she's a dragon sorcerer.
He's a dragon sorcerer.
Yeah, so even if you're not building that, like just having that on the board is fine. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing with Draven. If you're building wild noble knights, you still grab a Draven and throw him in there.
Yeah.
Because he's super strong, and if you can get 2 more Dravens in your RNG rolls, well, he's gonna carry your back line.
Donnie's fucking Elmo went off.
Oh my god.
And then yeah, like dude, I'm telling you, Imperial Wild is the
Oh my
shit.
god, Imperial Blade Master,
That's good too. Yeah, yeah,
because it just makes Draven he just spazzes out
yeah,
and just destroys everything on the board.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah, there's definitely those balance issues within the game that need to be addressed, of course. But I mean, both games are in beta.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect to see large changes to both games over the course of the next month or so.
Yeah, this is one of those games. It's so fun because you literally just need a
It is.
mouse. Like I don't know any of the hotkeys, and I don't give a fuck about knowing any of the hotkeys.
The only hotkey I know is E to sell a unit that you have your mouse over. That's the
Oh,
only hotkey.
well, hey, there you go. There's that.
There you go.
But I played on my Steam Link. You can always like minimize
Oh,
big
there's that.
picture and then just play it on your
Yeah.
TV. So with my like wireless mouse, I just sit there and I was playing it last night while we were just chilling. So it's fun, man. I like it. I'm probably never gonna give that Chinese version a try because I don't see a need for it. You know what I mean? And if
Chinese
TFT,
version.
yeah, the guys that made the original mod, Drodo.
Or were they Chinese?
Yeah, it was a Chinese studio.
Some Chinese modders.
Yeah, so they made the original mod, and then they're like, okay, we're making it for mobile, and then it's gonna come onto
Yeah.
PC
It's
from the Epic Store.
Dragon Nest, I believe, is the studio, and it's just called Auto Chess.
I thought they were called Drodo.
Is it? I don't
Whatever,
know.
maybe.
The only Auto Chess I know on the mobile store is called Auto Chess, and I thought
Yeah,
that was theirs.
that's what it's called, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's all kinds of like copycats that are just like fucking
Oh yeah, no, there are. There's
viruses and shit.
Well, I mean, it's like, and I don't think that the Auto Chess is ever going to be as big as MOBAs or Battle Royales.
No.
It's going to be more like, it's like an evolution of RNG card games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's basically kind of what it is. It's just funny to me that, like, over the past several years, the biggest genre booms in the video game industry were all from modders.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's how MOBAs started.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3, it was a mod of Warcraft 3, became Dota, and then Valve stole it and made it Dota 2. And then League of Legends copied that, and it's
Dude.
one of the biggest genres ever. Same thing with Battle Royales.
Yeah, I was gonna
A lot
say.
of Arma 3, H1Z1, big studios come in, make theirs, right?
Yeah.
And now the same thing with this was a mod of Dota 2, and now the studios are making theirs, and now you got a bunch of copycats. Maybe we'll see Blizzard jump in with their version that they will then suicide in a year.
Well, if according to a 4chan leak that we have, if that 4chan leak,
Segways.
dude, if that 4chan leak is legit, then we're not fucking seeing anything like that. So let's just get straight.
You want
to
to read
that.
over the 4chan leak?
It's too much
that on the
information. There's literally
we both read it. You want to just go over the?
Yeah. So pretty much, Prince posted this in general chat. There is a there's this like 4chan leak from an anonymous poster, and it has all this information that may or may not be true, but it looks like a disgruntled employee that I think is probably middle management because they do know a lot. And they just break down everything, what's going on in the offices, everybody's morale, Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and Hearthstone. This guy just drops the bomb on all those things. And Czar thinks that this is most likely fake. I feel like after we both read the whole thing, after reading all this, I hope it's fucking fake because there's some shit in here that is depressing as fuck, man. For if you're fans of any of this stuff. But yeah, the first paragraph that you guys are looking at here, he mostly talks about how everybody is just fucking depressed. Like everybody in the offices are depressed, that leadership is pushing them in the direction of making games just for profit, like, and it's their idea of profit. Like esports is going to save this company, and everyone's like, dude, we're making bullshit games that no one's going to play, and
right, esports isn't going to save that.
Yeah, and then there's stuff about like people's ovulation cycles and
yeah,
like
one of the main reasons that I think that this is most likely false. Well, there's a couple. One, it's on 4chan, and while there have been some legitimate leaks on 4chan, the vast majority of anything posted on 4chan is just bullshit,
Yeah.
right? So it's got that strike against it, just on my assumption of it being from 4chan. Two, the parts that they use to make it sound more believable is all the work environment stuff, the mention of the ovulation cycles, which was a couple news articles from like 4 or 5 months ago that we even went over on the podcast. All of the stuff that they're throwing in there to make it sound more legitimate is stuff that we already constantly hear about in the news recently from, environments at EA, environments at Blizzard Activision, environments all around from like these big companies and their development environments, right?
Yep.
So that's just like everyone's already piling on that stuff. It's pretty known that this is how things are right now, and it's not good. So then, since all of that's already kind of a given of information that everyone should already be familiar with, the rest makes it questionable because he's not actually giving us stuff that, other than like the specifics about games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the only real insider information that we can get from this, if it's any of it's true. And then it'd be like, well, wouldn't he have to be pretty high up to know all the different stuff about these games because they're all different departments?
That's why I think it is true, he's middle management, because middle management.
I think he'd have to be higher than that, right? Because I would imagine the people working on Overwatch, like their middle management probably only deals with Overwatch.
Yeah, but you can always go to their office.
I don't know, of course.
Like,
so.
I've worked in semi-development places, and like you can always walk over to their cubicles and like look at what they're working on and ask them questions. Like I'm sure
I mean, there's
communicate.
there's just casual communication between people in an office building.
Exactly. Like, oh, is this the new Overwatch? What's it like? And then you just like watch it and like, make your own decision. But according to this leak, Overwatch 2, which was confirmed in the news that they're working on this, is like a Left 4 Dead kind of clone with the Overwatch universe, and it was gonna have loot boxes, but then they got worried about this whole new loot box legislation and Belgium ban.
Excuse you, surprise mechanics.
Yeah, sorry, and we'll get to that too. And then Diablo 4 was the most depressing one to read, in my opinion. According to this, they're all in crunch now because of Diablo Immortal, so they're like trying to churn this game out in 2020, and it's a first-person game in the Overwatch engine, and it's supposed to be replace the vacuum our ecosystem left by Destiny. All right, so it's a fantasy. It's going to be the first fantasy shooter that is like a Destiny wannabe, and
so you'd be looking at, as far as I understand, basically Diablo, but from a first-person perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a grinder, looter, but from first person, just like Destiny. That's possibly believable because they did. But again, like this is information that you could just make up based off what we know of previous Diablo 4 stories.
Yeah.
Them bouncing through a bunch of different ideas for what Diablo 4 would be.
Also, if you wanted to get people upset, you would tell people the next Diablo is a first-person game, and that's it.
Yeah,
like, that's
absolutely.
all you would have to do.
People would fucking go crazy if they announce it and Diablo 4 is what it says in this post. Fucking Blizzard fans are gonna fucking riot.
Riot. Yeah, it's gonna be over for like this will kill Blizzard for a lot of people.
If like half of this is true,
yeah,
Blizzard is gonna lose like the majority of their hardcore fan base.
Yeah,
which I'm surprised they haven't already.
Yeah, and according to what this guy says, the story is even worse. It's like Diablo was good the whole time.
Oh God!
And now he's like
vomit. Yeah, that's true.
And now he like ascends to become like an angel called Diabel Primus, and it's like a whole like he was a good guy the whole time kind of thing, and the angels are the bad guys.
Right, because he was preparing for an invasion from the Void.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, which would possibly tie it into the Warcraft universe.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Oh, that's terrible. So, there's all that, and then, there's stuff about World of Warcraft where, I don't play WoW.
Which has been a dead game for a very long time.
Yeah, but it's serious. But, see, this is the only thing.
Sorry.
This is the only thing.
Okay.
If any of this stuff is true, the first thing we'll see is from WoW. Because there's an update here It says loot crates were planned, but after Belgium were hastily reworked, and an in-game reward coming in 8.2 or later. Okay, so we gotta look for this in-game reward system that is coming in 8.2 or later. If this comes out, then this whole thing might be true. That's the only thing I can get from this. I was like, okay, that's how we know that if this might be true, because that's the only thing that insider info would know, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, if that's true, that if any of the like little specific things they pepper in here, like, update specific stuff and whatnot, if stuff like that is true, it adds a lot of validity to the potential of other stuff in this being true.
Yeah.
The one thing that I want to know if is true, and I don't know how to find out. I guess I could Google it, but they did say that WoW currently dipped below 1 million subscribers.
I'm sure it's true. I'm sure you can look that up somewhere.
But I don't know if because I'm assuming that they don't even have to release that kind of information.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
So
they wouldn't have
they
to.
would only release numbers if they're good, right? Over 1 million subscribers, right?
Let's see. I typed in Google current World of Warcraft subscribers. Let's see. This is from 2018. 3.2 million after Battle of currently stands at 1.7 million. All right, that was in October 2018.
But this says Blizzard hasn't revealed count since 2015.
Oh, in that leak? Is that what it said?
No. This article on Gadgets.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that was written in
the one
2018, and that was in 2015.
But they're saying in the article that Blizzard hasn't released official numbers since 2015, which
So
means
how would they know?
that numbers have probably not been good since then, right?
I mean, how would you be able to figure that out without Blizzard letting you know? Is there like an API or anything?
I don't think so. I don't think you could.
Where you could see how many people are logged on at once, maybe, like throughout the different servers, and then kind of guesstimate. I don't know. Because it would be on Blizzard to release that info. Like Steam is pretty open about theirs, so I don't know if Blizzard is.
Right, but even then, so you could see, average concurrent players of, say, ESO Online, right?
Yeah.
Through Steam. It's got its own launcher, though. And it's not going to tell you how many people are paying for ESO Plus.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, so what to look out for is in the next expansion, if the level cap is lowered to 60, and if in 8.2 or later of World of Warcraft there's a new in-game reward system, then this whole fucking thing might be true, dude. I mean, even then it still might not be, but that's like the first thing to look for. It's like the Game of Thrones leaks that came out. I never read them, but Prince did a long time ago. And he's like, this is all bullshit. But then 1 or 2 things started coming true, and then 3, then 4, and he's like, oh, fuck, this whole thing is true, man. So that's what we're looking for with this leak, really.
Yeah.
And, he talks about how StarCraft, they think RTSs as a genre is considered dead. I think it's true. I don't think there's been a good RTS since StarCraft 2. There hasn't been a single one.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not a huge player in that genre, so it's not like I keep up with, what RTS games are out there. I'm sure that there are.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
like on Steam, you can probably find, indie ones and other studios that have developed some, but, I mean, it's not as big as it used to be, right? Like, it used to be huge.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like, that's what drove these other genres to become a thing. Warcraft, StarCraft, those were fucking huge in their heyday.
Yeah, and as Prince is saying, Age of Empires 4 is coming out, so that might just work for that niche group because they like that. If they keep it true to the old games, maybe it's just like the old games with a newer look. But Relic, who made Company of Heroes and all the Dawn of War games, their latest one, Dawn of War 3, I mean, there's like 200 people playing it currently right now. It was a $60 game. It was a bullshit game. They tried to mash MOBA and RTS together, and I remember that. Yeah, they ended up making a garbage game that nobody plays. Their servers are barely online. It's all peer to peer. and they said that they ceased development. They're not going to work on that game. Like it's completely failed. So there's
Wow.
really nothing else. There's nothing else in the RTS genre that I could think of. So there's that, and then there's stuff about Hearthstone, and there was a plan for Hearthstone VR, but it's been mothballed, and I don't even know why you would do that.
What's the point of even that?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it could be cool because you could do like a VR Yu-Gi-Oh style board where you can like lay down the card and see the like thing come up or something. I don't fucking know. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Okay.
It could be cool. I actually really want VR now, to be honest.
It just
Not for Hearthstone. I just mean in general. It's looking pretty fun.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's honestly getting there. You're right. There's something about VR that's cool, but I don't like the being tapped into another world thing. You know, like not being present. Like your body's here, but your mind is somewhere else. It's just too. It fucks with me, dude. I don't like it. But yeah, man. Another common theme in this leak is management that was put in by Activision that don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're asking people under them how to do shit constantly. And those are the people leading all these. It's like Activision put in their own leaders in all of these games and said, this is the focus, go. And the focus has been esports, profit, and stuff like that, and not like let's make a good game,
Right.
So people are depressed, and it's not good at Blizzard.
Yeah, I mean, it would be horrible working for a company like that. I mean, for a lot of the developers, they probably get paid very well,
Yeah.
and you're working for one of the biggest names in the gaming industry. So I mean, that's great, but at the same time, like an environment like that would really suck as a developer.
Yeah.
It would just suck, and I can see how a lot of them would just feel stuck, right? Because you're like, what am I gonna do? Like I can leave, but then I leave Blizzard.
Yeah.
One of the biggest names in gaming history. And a lot of people have, and they went off and did their own thing.
Yeah.
Like people that made Diablo 2 went off and did their own stuff.
Well, another thing in here is he talked about, because this guy supposedly guy or girl got fired from Blizzard and is leaking all this information anonymously. They mentioned that you were given a pay cut or the option to take some money and leave. So a lot of people took the money and left instead of taking a pay cut.
Right.
So I don't know if this is one of those situations because they say they got fired, or if they just got let go. You know what I mean? But yeah. If any of this shit is real, it's fucking depressing, to be honest.
Mega depressing, my dude.
Yeah. It's like I grew up with Blizzard games. One of the first games I've ever played was a Blizzard game on PC. And to see it come down to, they didn't even mention HOTS in this leak, so that's depressing me even more. So it's like, that's how you know HOTS is fucking dead. If in the leak it's not even mentioned.
So dead. I think someone was saying that like the queue times for just like normal games were like 10 minutes.
Oh
in
no,
HOTS.
it's that bad now?
Because it's because nobody's fucking playing. They don't got enough players anymore.
Oh my god, dude.
They literally suicided that game.
Yeah.
Like hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, do you think they're just trying to cut their losses because they think that it was never going to be the MOBA that was going to be on the same level as League and stuff?
Yeah, I think that they knew that it was never going to be big, but a lot of it were their own design choices. But Blizzard, instead of like changing design choice or something like that, or putting more money and effort into it, they decided to cut their losses, I think.
Yeah, it's weird that a lot of the shit that people were asking for was not implemented until like way after when the game was already dead. Like that whole Storm League where you can like pick your role, the way that you do in League. That shit they implemented.
Yeah, stuff that's been standard in like
MOBAs.
The genre for a while now.
Yeah, they implemented it once everybody had already left, and it's like, dude, we could have fucking used that already,
You can't. MOBAs are one of the biggest genres still, right?
Yeah.
You can't jump into a super successful genre and expect to do well if you leave out all of these standard, genre functionalities in your game.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what they did. They came out with a game that lacked big chunk of the functionality that all these other MOBAs had.
Yeah. I mean, it had awesome it had awesome moments, and I think me and Prince, we talked about this. I think when they introduced Overwatch heroes, they fucked up the whole game. Like, a lot of the Overwatch
Yeah.
heroes fucked up the whole game, dude.
A lot of the design concepts that they were going with just fucked up the
Yeah,
game. Like,
yeah.
I just think a lot of it was their character design.
Yeah.
The talents and lack of items just creates a lack of depth to
Yeah.
the game as well. So there's there's very few variation in how characters are played.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, if you play this character, well, this is the current meta build for it. Variation of that, you're probably just going to lose. You can play around with it, but you can't get too crazy because you're restricted by the talents that are given to that character.
Yeah. There are some moments where, like, if you like choosing the right talent against the enemy, like, okay, they have this guy, so I should pick this talent. Like, there are moments like that, but even then, it's super basic. It's like, okay, they have an auto attack
It's
champion.
super shallow compared to League. It's like in League, you're laning against someone. You have the choices of which skill do you level first, which one do you max first. You can change that. You can change your starting items. You can change the first item you build into. You know, there's a lot of stuff that adds depth to the MOBA genre, and the item system is one of those. And not having that, I think a lot of that and some of the design choices didn't it kept them from grabbing like the main MOBA player because it lacked what people who play MOBAs play for.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. They fucked it up. I still stand by, if this leak is true, then everything I said about Blizzard coming back is incorrect.
Is incorrect. What would you say?
2020 is when
would be
they'll
the year
announce
Blizzard news.
Yeah, 2020 they'll announce cool shit that'll come out late 2020 or 2021. So,
well, I mean, you're probably right about the news, but whether the news will be good or not, we'll see.
I thought it would be, but if, like I said, if any of this shit is true, it's not going to be good. I don't think anybody would be happy with any of these points from any of these genres. That's the thing.
No, not a single person that plays the games would be happy with any of this stuff.
Yeah. So, that's it. Anyway, let's hope it's wrong. Let's get into some sexy news. Maybe I shouldn't have segued that way, but Etika found dead.
Oh,
Who the fuck?
God.
What is this gore shit?
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, it's makeup.
Oh, it's makeup. It's makeup. Okay. Yeah, Etika, the YouTuber, was found dead as New York police confirmed body in Manhattan. They found his body floating in the East River in Manhattan. First, he made that video saying, like, I'm sorry, it's over, guys. I won't hurt anybody anymore. Then people couldn't get a hold of him. Then they found his, like, when they found his backpack with his, like, DS and like his, like, personal belongings in it, like under a bridge, I was like, oh, he's gone, dude, because why would he leave that shit otherwise, you know? But yeah, soon after, a few days after they found his dead body in the river, it wasn't clear how he died or what he did, but you know, I guess that's personal information that the coroner may or may not release. But yeah, that's it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really sad story. I was not like a consumer of his content, but he was, for those that don't know, he was like a streamer and YouTuber that did like mainly like Nintendo.
He was
content, right?
Yeah, he was a Smash
He's a Smash player.
Smash YouTuber. Like, he has all these like clips online of him like freaking out over like Smash news and
Right.
And
it's
he has
really sad because like it's been documented on the internet, like his mental health issues. So it's really sad that it went to this, because it's like, I don't know, you know, that there wasn't something that could have been done, you know, for him.
Yeah, people were kind of looking at him like this whole thing like a freak show, you know. It was kind of one of those things where you're watching someone's mental health deteriorate, you're watching them scream for help. Like, he was fist fighting cops. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we saw that was one of the last clips I saw from him with the police. So it's just really sad in general, especially for like, you know, mental health and how we treat it in society and stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like shaming going around on the internet about like, oh, you guys let this happen, no one said anything. And it's like, I don't know if that shaming is warranted, you know what I mean? Like, what were people supposed to do? Like, they don't even know the guy and he's broadcasting out in public. Like, what
Right.
are we supposed to do, you know?
It's not, yeah, and I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, there's the people like on the internet and stuff aren't responsible for a lot of it, but I mean, like, what it just shows is that there's the systemic issues within society about mental health or what caused this.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the lack of resources. But not even just that. I mean, obviously, then he, and having mental health issues causes it as well. He obviously had a lack of people in his life there to help him or make sure that he got help. Which is very difficult because he definitely probably had the financial um,
Means.
possibilities to do so.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know exactly what the fuck happened. I'm not in his personal life, and I don't think anybody should be. Because I saw an article that somebody wrote that the internet should be ashamed for what they did, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's fair to say.
I don't know what the internet did.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
saying.
mean? It's
What
like
did they do other than watch whatever was publicly
people
out there?
even with the stuff that was going on, even way back when he had some episodes last year and stuff, like nobody was pushing him online as far as I could see. There wasn't like this big thing of people blaming him and stuff. It was people concerned and saying, telling him and asking him that he receive, some sort of help with what he's going through and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't see like mass people like attacking him or shaming him or stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's fucking sad. It's terrible, to be honest. I don't like. I know what it's like to lose somebody to suicide, and it's fucked up, man. But one thing I did learn from that is that if someone wants to go, man, they're gonna go, and there's nothing you can do. You know, a lot of times there's nothing you can do. So who knows? But that's sad. Let's move on to Brittany Venti on DLive TV was using his death. I mean, immediately after he died, like immediately, this bitch posted, "Hey, come watch me on DLive." What's DLive TV? I didn't even know that was it's like a wannabe
It's
Twitch.
just I'm assuming it's just another streaming service. She's been perma-banned from Twitch for a long time.
Okay, that's why. So she was been perma-banned from Twitch, and she used this other platform. And I'm telling you, the second he died, she went live and said, if anybody's sad about this news, and if you're sad and need somewhere to talk about Etika's death, she put her little thing, her little clip, URL, and then Slasher wrote, "What's wrong with you?" And that made it blow up even more. So it's like Slasher helped her. You know what I mean? That's how I saw it.
There was kind of, but he's also shaming her. But I mean, Brittany Venti thrives on shame.
Yeah, she thrives on it.
Since she was on Twitch, that's what she did. Like, she's just been this, and I'm sure she's fucking mentally ill because of the stuff that she does. Because I don't know how much of it is an act and how much is her real personality. But clearly, this is, she does it for attention. She does everything she's ever done on the internet for attention. Yeah. She's crazy. And whether it's an act to try to get attention that way or if she's legitimately crazy, I have no idea. She responded to all this saying, oh, well, the money she earned from the stream was going to suicide prevention stuff, which may have been true. But I mean, like, the way that she presented it was, but also the way she presented it was clearly, obviously, to upset people, in my opinion.
It was just to take advantage.
That's what
of
she
the
does.
moment.
That's what she does.
Yeah,
like that's her MO. All the videos she posts on YouTube, all the stuff she's ever done on stream has been to bait people into hating her. Like that's what she does.
She's doing the heel approach, right?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up that someone would use somebody else's death to catapult their fucking Twitch career, dude.
People do it all the time. Look at like YouTube people do it. There's a guy named Jay Station on YouTube that after like all these famous deaths, like Mac Miller, XXXTentacion, I think he did one for Etika as well. It's like he makes these videos where he speaks to the dead person with a Ouija board at 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
Like that's the
dude.
video he makes. Like as soon as somebody dies.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, I'm not surprised that someone like this person would use, something new, fresh and new in the news to like catapult their career, but to use somebody's suicide is fucking one of the lowest of the low,
Right.
It just means you have zero morality, dude, like zero. So Prince says, looking at her Instagram, she's a communist, so not surprised she's a terrible person.
She's definitely not a communist.
That's what Prince says.
As far as I know, I mean, she's a right winger. I mean, she's a troll, so who knows how much of it's true. But I mean, as far as I know, she's definitely not a communist. She's like borderline alt-right.
She's a dumb cunt.
I say borderline. Her character that she plays online is 100% alt-right.
Okay. All right. Anyway, though, there it is. Hope you're happy. Next piece of news. Diablo 4 shown internally at Blizzard, but it won't launch this year. So apparently there's some news about that. There's nothing in this article that I read that confirms any of the leak stuff either. But it's pretty much telling you that this article is just telling you it won't launch this year, which I didn't think it was anyway. You know what I mean?
No. Oh, heavens, though. I don't think anybody thought it.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it launches in 2020, to be honest.
Yeah, it says the next-gen consoles for Xbox, which is called Project Scarlet right now, and then the PlayStation 5 should be coming out in the 2020 season of Christmas. But actually, it'll probably come out in November just for Black Friday. So that's what they usually do. New consoles come out usually in November, so everybody can buy them for Christmas.
Right. And everybody wants to make new games for the new consoles.
Yeah.
But wasn't there like, and maybe I'm just making this up, but I thought, didn't like Xbox say something or Microsoft say something about they're moving in a direction where you don't have to buy the new console to buy new games or something?
Yeah, it was really cryptic. They're saying like they're doing it all. They're doing streaming and new console. But they also said what you said, where like the new games you'll be able to access without having the new console.
Right. Like it's like with PCs. It's like it runs on the operating system. You don't have to get a new PC every year to play new games.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like I think it sounded like they're going in that direction, which is good. And it's also them showing like we're going to continue to make new hardware for people that buy the consoles.
Yeah.
Because eventually games progress to a point where you can't play them on old hardware anymore.
Yeah.
But it's good if they are heading in that direction.
Yeah, and Prince is saying maybe I'll be able to get a Switch this year then, and they won't be sold out everywhere. Or next year, he says. You should. There was a leak that came out, so there's going to possibly be something called a Switch Mini, which is like a Joy-Con stuck onto a screen, pretty much. It's like a little handheld. And the reason we know about it is because these accessory companies that make like Switch Mini or Switch accessories, they accidentally leaked their advertisement for like accessory stuff, and that's how people found out about it. So if you want to get a Switch and you're waiting for a price drop, when that Mini drops, the Switch will probably go down in price. I hope.
Man, why? I mean, I guess because because the Switch isn't small enough. I guess
it's for handheld, like taking it.
Yeah,
out
it's
with
like
you.
the handheld version where it's just like. You can't dock it though, so I mean it's not that much smaller. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be docking accessories too if those leaks are true. So.
Oh my god! So
yeah,
it's just it's like when the PS2 made the PS2 Slim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that. So
it just the smaller version of the PS2.
So yeah, there's that. Anyway, has nothing to do with Diablo, but. Let's move on.
Whoa.
This horrifying app undresses a photo of any woman with a single clip. It's the $50 Deep Nude app. And apparently, as soon as it was created, the creator of the app that undresses photos of women takes it offline. He just got way too much heat from it. I guess it was out for a long time, and no one knew about it. Then someone found out about it. Then it got moved around, and then, and then, The guy's like, you know what? Fuck this. Probably made his money because $50, 1,000,000 downloads. Imagine how much money you fucking get from that,
Right.
dude. You know. So.
So what's the idea? Same concept as like deep fakes.
I'm sure it's something like that. Like it takes someone's body form and just like makes a nude model. It superimposes a nude model over them. I mean, that's the only
Based off
thing.
a bunch of different like nude imagery that it has and stored in
Yeah.
its database that it, combs through and tries to recreate what it
Yeah.
thinks the
It-
body looks like.
Listen to this sentence. It swaps clothes for naked breasts and a vulva and only works on images of women. A vulva? Jesus Christ. But yeah, it that's all it does. It's like
Interesting.
it's just a shitty way of doing it.
It's just an AI doing the Photoshop for you.
And Caitlin Bowden, founder and CEO of revenge porn activism organization Badass, terrible, says this is absolutely terrifying. Like, dude, relax, dude. I don't know.
I mean, it's like, I understand it's of course still fake nudes, right?
It's fake.
But the problem is that it looks more real than previous, like, our ability to Photoshop nudes, right?
Yeah.
Like, deep fakes look really real. So I think
guess you would
that's
have
the
to
big
look
issue,
at
right?
it. I guess you would have to look at it. You know.
Right.
I
But there's
wish-
also software being created to detect fakes now, like,
Yeah.
better. Like, they're creating AIs to detect things that have been photoshopped. I think Adobe is making something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, so I mean, I think there's going to be this battle. We need to make, like, instead of just like tackling it legally wise, which I think there is room for that, especially with like deep fakes and stuff like that. There's also going to be battling of it from a software side, where we're going to be making software to expose or confirm, like, yes, this is fake, so it's not like the person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I understand the outrage, but yeah, it's weird. It's
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean,
weird.
it's super weird, and you definitely could attempt to like ruin someone's career or
Yeah,
their
that's
personal
true.
life
There-
with stuff like this.
That's true. That's
if it's
true.
convincing enough.
Yeah, this whole deep fake thing is kind of scary, man. Because right now people are just ignorant to the fact. That's why. So like, it just takes
Yeah,
a few ignorant people to fuck up your whole life, and then you gotta fucking
Right.
work your ass off to try to like discredit it, and then who knows the damage that was done already. You know. That's the
Right.
whole thing.
Exactly. And the vast majority of people are ignorant to technology anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
So, and they're the people that are sadly in charge of fucking society, and they have no fucking idea what they're talking about as far as technology goes. So, it's good if we can get people putting out these softwares that can analyze pictures and prove that they're fake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and Prince is saying he talked to some software engineer friends, and they said that this is a super easy thing to program, and I would imagine it is. It's not very complex, you know what I mean?
Right.
It just superimposes.
It just took a shitty person to put it out on an app store.
Yeah, and I mean, to their credit, they took it down because they're like, I don't want this heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're not like trying to die on that hill or anything like that. So
right. They just wanted to exploit some people for some money,
Yeah.
which is shitty.
so there's that. I think this is just the beginning. We'll see.
Yeah,
shit
just
like
like
this
deep
more.
fakes, we're just seeing the beginning.
Yeah. All right, next piece of news. Razer Brazil cuts ties with influencer after her tweets saying men are trash. Do you know anything about this, Sar?
I briefly read the article like last week or whenever it hit. Like, I saw it in the podcast discussion, so I kind of read over it.
Yeah, she says in her response to being sexually harassed that men are trash. And then Razer Brazil just decided
Cut
that
ties.
they don't like that kind of shit.
Now, I will say in her defense, and I know people are going to bash me for defending her at all probably, but I can understand from a woman's perspective of you're online and even in real life of just sexual harassment and comments and stuff being a common thing that happens all the time, right?
Yep.
Because I'll say people are shitty, right? Most human beings, just in the vast scope of reality, people are shitty. Men, women, whoever, right? Well, as a woman, you see the shittiness from men way more often, right?
Oh, fuck yeah,
And you're,
dude.
especially online, you're constantly bombarded with stupid men, harassment, all this other kind of stuff. So I can completely understand the frustration and the meaning behind people saying like men are trash.
Yeah.
It's an expression of frustration of the environment and how them as women get treated online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an expression of frustration. I don't even know if you had a conversation with them if they truly say like no, not all men are trash. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
hashtag not all men, whatever. It's an expression of frustration, and I can totally understand that. But I completely understand Razor Brazil cutting ties because just saying blanket statements like that hurt images, especially with all this controversial turmoil around politically correct stuff. I want to be not politically correct. There's this weird cultural battle going on around all this stuff where you're not allowed any nuance or anything like that. You're not allowed to fuck up. You're not allowed to say stuff in frustration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On both ways. Like, so it's just a mess. So I understand them cutting ties with her, but I also understand her sentiment in what she chose to say. I do understand it.
Yeah, I get it. It's well said, everything that you said. For Razer to be like, this is not a part of our brand, so we're gonna cut
Right.
ties with you. Okay, like there's nothing you can do about that. That's what they want to do.
And it's a completely legitimate choice. Like,
yeah, I will
I
add
mean-
though. I will add her. I think she should have the freedom to say that men are trash, just like any guy should have the freedom to say whatever the fuck they want too. Like you don't have to agree with
right.
whatever guys or girls say online. You don't have to support them if you don't like what they're saying. But this whole cancel culture is too much. And then I'm sure there's a bunch of meninists that are like, oh, fuck yeah, this is a victory for men, and it's like, come on, man.
Right. And they do the same because it's so funny because you have people on the right always talking about people on the left being snowflakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then you have stuff like this happen and and stuff like James Gunn happen, and they become the most easily offended little snowflakes in the entire world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, and she definitely has a right to express her opinion. And like I said, I haven't read any of her response stuff, but I understand usually where these things come from. And it's probably an expression of frustration because it was a direct response to someone saying something sexual towards her on a tweet that like wasn't sexual and stuff like that,
Yeah, it was probably just said, I mean, I don't want to speak for this person because I don't know what they were saying, but it was probably just out of like frustration, like you said, upset about something that happened.
Right.
But yeah,
I can't speak for her. I'm making a lot of assumptions here. I'm making a general statement about people that use these choices of words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
From my own conversations I've seen online and I've had in person with people, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Cruz saying if she had said men like this are trash, then it would have been a non-issue. But like I said, that probably just feeds into the whole.
Probably.
Yeah. It's like shoulda, woulda, coulda, in hindsight.
It feeds into the whole everyone getting outraged instead of sitting down and having a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everyone's, oh, she hates all men. She probably doesn't hate all men. You know what I mean? Like that's highly unlikely.
She even apologized for it in a tweet. I reacted in a rude way to the guy who made a tasteless joke and I ended up offending a lot of people. I apologize. I do not apologize for having defended myself. I will always defend myself. Yeah, and it's
absolutely exactly like what we're saying here, Prince. It's everyone has the right both ways. Razor has the right to cut ties with her because she's being controversial or she caused a controversy in what she said, right? But she absolutely has the right to express herself in that way. But since she has a contract with a company, it gets dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like we just talked about that chick that was using Etika's suicide to propel her career. I feel like these are two different parts of the spectrum, right? Like they're not in the same boat. Like this girl's not the same as that girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just like
clearly.
All guys are not all the same. Like there's some fucking dicks out there, some pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And like
there's a lot of them. I mean, like a lot. And I'd agree that like probably more often than not, men are probably shittier than women.
Dude, all the fucked up murder crimes are all dudes. It's all
Yeah,
dudes.
I mean, like, and yeah, I mean, you can say like, oh, this is bias or whatever, but I mean,
yeah,
it's our your own observation of the world. I would say, yeah, more often than not, probably men are shittier than women.
yeah,
That's just how I view the world.
yeah.
I
It
mean,
can. It happens a lot. I mean, that's it. I mean,
or
we
at
might
least
be wrong.
the scale of severity at which men are shitty is higher than
Yeah,
women.
but does that mean that we should change laws to because of that fact? Like, no, man. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of shit going on that it changes there's variables. So we're complicated fucking people. We're complicated
Yeah.
people. So it's
Yeah,
tough.
and this idea that everyone is, or it's like it's how people observe reality is like you judge yourself based off your intention, and you judge everyone else based off their action.
Yeah.
If someone does something bad, they are an evil person. That's how people judge people on the outside. Like if someone does something bad, they are an evil person. If you do something bad, you fucked up. You did something wrong, but you're a good person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how like the majority of people see things like this. They don't take the time to think about it or say, well, people do bad things. That doesn't mean people are bad.
Yeah. White power. Anyway.
Whoa.
What? Let's move on.
Okay, Kona.
Next piece of news. League of Legends. Iran players say U.S. sanctions have blocked the game. I thought it was the other. I thought Iran was the one that blocked it. Oh damn! Are the sanctions that bad? Yeah, due to rising tensions at the moment, the U.S. has imposed tough new sanctions on Iran. That's when trading with other countries is blocked or costs so much that the businesses in the country with sanctions can't do it. But how does that extend to online games? Where a player shared How does that affect you playing League in Iran, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, well, here you go. Why would it affect? You're paying a monthly subscription, and it's a U.S. company with U.S. systems involved. Ah! So their ISPs are U.S. companies. That would make sense. The ISPs in Iran are U.S. companies. So that affected... But wouldn't it affect all
Yeah,
games?
I'm not sure if I really follow.
It's a risk Riot Games don't want to be open to, which would... Okay, so U.S. companies have to declare their earnings to the U.S. SEC, which could flag that they are making money from subscriptions or in-game purchases from people in Iran. Okay, that's what it is. So the U.S. So the way the sanctions work is the U.S. says, all right, nobody's allowed to do business with Iran. All right? You cannot... As a U.S. company, that's it. You can't trade with them. You can't sell them any products. You can't do anything, right? And if you do, then you're going to be, I guess they don't like it. Something will happen. So Riot Games is like, you know what? It's not worth doing business with Iran at all. So let's just cut ties with them and block the game until the sanction shit is worked through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this might happen with more games, So that's what it is. That's what this shit is.
I guess it makes sense that people in Iran play League of Legends. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, from what I know, because my family are Iranian immigrants. They're immigrated from Iran. We were refugees and all that. The people aren't the problem. It's the government. The people are just like us, dude. They wear fucking...
People everywhere are just like people.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the... People view other people from different countries and stuff as others, and they... that's what causes a lot of problems within society.
Yeah, I mean, my step family, they have a cousin that just immigrated from Iran. He's around our age. He fucking likes anime, dude. He likes Gundam and Evangelion, and he has like
what a weeb. Get him
he's
out.
a super weeb, dude. He reads
we
mangas.
We clearly need to control immigration better.
So he's just like us. But yeah, hopefully that shit gets figured out. Next piece of news. Steam finally adds official LGBTQ plus tags for games, because finally, dude. Like, I didn't even know that was a fucking issue, dude. Why did people what does that even mean, dude? What does that even fucking mean, dude? It's a sexual orientation. Who cares about that? And of course, Nathan Grayson with the finally. Nathan Grayson's on top of all this shit, dude. But yeah, stuff like Mount Your Friends.
Oh
and
God, is
and Daddy
see that's
Simulator, the
that
one the like gay dating simulator and stuff like that.
yeah. I mean, like that's the problem with a tag like this though too, is you're gonna get a lot of bad with some of the good, right?
Yeah.
Like, is what was the I already forgot the name of the one before Daddy Simulator. You know, the hanging with friends or whatever with
Was it with the where the dicks? It's all
the
dicks.
dicks and the dudes flopping
Yeah,
around,
that's
right?
that's Mount Your Friends.
Mount your friends, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I can see how some people would be like, that shouldn't be in the LGBTQ tag or whatever, because it's like almost a joke at like gay dude's expense or something,
yeah,
you know, like making gay being a joke. So I could see that this could be good and it could be bad, because I could see some people getting upset at things that get tagged by it as well. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Um,
I
I don't know.
mean, it's
It could
cool.
be good and it could be bad.
It's cool. Like whatever. I don't really have a problem with it. I
If
don't.
people want to find games that are oriented around that, or
Yeah,
at least have more like representation through it, here's a way they can do it.
yeah. But to say like, oh, finally, like as if the
I don't know,
LGBTQ.
like oh, because there's been a genre of LGBTQ games that just have gone untagged for so long.
Yeah. Any of my gay friends that are gamers that I've talked to have never once told me I wish there was an LGBTQ tag for games on Steam. Like I've never heard that ever being an issue.
Right.
So for them,
And
so,
I mean, there's clearly people that want it. They
Yeah.
want it for their own reasons, and that's fine. It's just going to be interesting what could happen with some things that get tagged in there, because you know some people are going to tag some bad stuff.
yeah, exactly. And as Crew's saying, the majority of LGBTQ don't plus. Sorry, I forgot the plus. Don't care except for the larger issues, equity, etc. The vocal minority and Tumblr rights are gonna go fucking ballistic. That's funny. Tumblr rights. But yeah, most people are just human beings that just want to be able to go to the store and buy a Snickers and pump gas without being looked at like a freak. That's pretty much what everybody wants.
Right.
All right, next piece of news. Disney won't allow human dismemberment in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So if you guys were looking for that, lightsabers to cut through people and cut them in half, well, keep on dreaming, dude. You're just going to see a spark. The lightsaber is going to go through them. It's going to be a spark, and they're going to go, oh! And then you'll see Z's from the top of their head, because they didn't. Yeah. They're not dead. They're taking
it's the commit nap saber.
It's a nap saber, dude. That's what it is. But yeah, this is part of that whole fucking... Look, man, I think we all need to accept that Star Wars is not an adult thing.
Well, yeah,
it's for kids.
It's not. The original Star Wars was not. It was
prequels was not.
It was mostly targeted
for kids,
at younger audiences, kids. It wasn't an R-rated movie.
No.
Yeah, there were some more mature material here and there peppered throughout, but so is most kids' material, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't made to be brutal R-rated war stuff, right?
Yeah.
It never has been.
It has the potential.
It's never going to be.
Yes, it has the potential to do that, and we saw it in novels. We saw it in video games. Like, yes, it has that. Like, if fans wanted to do it, they can. But the original trilogy was meant for kids. The prequels was meant for kids, and as much as we hate it, it was actually successful as fuck. Kids loved it at the time.
And not just kids, like just families in general.
Yeah.
Like younger audiences, like and yeah, it's a large push of some of the more violent stuff has been because us as kids loved Star Wars, and now we became adults and we want some more realistic, gritty stuff. But the franchise is not going to change just for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. So like no dismemberment and stuff like that. It's on brand. You know what I mean? That's part
100% on brand.
It's on brand. So I understand like we grew up watching it and then now we're adults, so we want like more adult themes. We want like
we're like the Star Wars is for me.
Yeah.
And I'm an adult now. Well, Star Wars is not for like you.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually the idea of each Star Wars trilogy when it came out was targeted for that generation of kids. That's from what I've read from documentaries and stuff like that. Was their entire idea. The prequels were going to have the fucking Backstreet Boys in them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I mean,
So
some of the biggest ways that Lucasfilms made money was from toys.
yeah, exactly.
Like he was an artist as far as that goes.
All right. Anyway, so there's that. So also, I know we kind of talked shit about Jedi Fallen Order when we talked about how vanilla and basic it is. But from what Jason Schreier wrote on Twitter, he was like, I don't know why they didn't show this aspect of the game that I saw, but he saw a whole like RPG elements where you're like flying from system to system, upgrading your ship, getting new powers, and some really cool shit like that. That he's like, I don't know why they didn't show that. That was like one of the best parts of the game. So there is still some cool elements to this game, and like we said, it was alpha, so. Who knows?
Yeah, what they wanted to show then was just some gameplay.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to show. We'll get a deeper look at systems and other stuff as it progresses throughout the year.
Don't worry, Prince. The guys that worked on Game of Thrones are going to work on Star Wars, so it's going to be good.
Hell yeah, brother. The next trilogy, right? Going to be from D&D. Oh, boy.
Dude, there's some awesome memes where people are like, I can't wait till they go onto a panel. Like, they eventually will have to face the public, They'll have to be at Comic-Con. They're going to have to, like, promote the movie. And then people are going to be like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
So
I don't know how Disney is going to... And, I mean, maybe there's just not going to be as much public outrage as us as hardcore fans are making it out to be, know?
Yeah.
Which is a huge possibility. But if people are going to be mainly upset at D&D for the shitty way they handled Game of Thrones, I don't know how Disney is going to get over the publicity if things start happening at things like Comic-Con and whatnot, with people bashing them and them not getting good receptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they would just have to just not show up. That's the only thing. There's a bunch of people that are part of like Game of Thrones and the films and all that shit that don't show up to the panels. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
they might just be like, we don't want you guys to be there. And
yeah, I don't know why they would want to. I mean, they of course
exactly.
were doing their end of episode explanations, which made them sound like a bunch of pretentious douchebags trying to fucking explain to you what just happened in the most dumb fucking way possible. Like, it showed that they were idiots.
Yeah, the guy would be looking at the ground the whole time he was talking to. Daenerys kind of forgot about the Iron Fang.
Like, yeah, no, you couldn't figure out a way to make it happen practically, so you just made it happen stupidly.
Too much avocado toast, dude. They need to fucking get some meat in their life. All right, let's move on. Real quick, because I actually kind of have to go, so let's just zoom through. Dude, we did an hour 15. All right, chill. This real quick. Court documents show Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford diverted funds to personal company. Almost done. And according to this article, from what we've read, he did some, hey, take this money, put it here, it's actually my company, so it goes to me. And then people are like, dude, you're blatantly diverting funds to yourself through this whole, like, it was like so blatant. So,
right. Absolutely. The question, though, is he allowed to do it?
Yeah, that's the question. Like, is it all above board? Because it sounds like it is.
It kind of sounds like it is. And it almost sounds like the money that was 2K giving the money was for basically executive bonus pay, which he had all the power to make it be like, oh, well, now that's my executive bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the control that he has in the company.
So it was, the money officially, 2K gave him the money so he can use it for development. It was supposed to go to Gearbox for development from 2K, all right? And it got instead diverted.
Well, that's what some people are claiming.
Well, that's what 2K said. In documents.
2K respond to it? Like, in documents, too, I think it mentioned something about executive.
Well, see, the thing, from what I've read, from what other people that know about economics have said, if you give someone money as a bonus, it's taxed differently than if you give someone money for, like, development. Right. So if he gets it like a development check and puts it in his company, then it's like, okay, you can do whatever the fuck you want with that money because it's your money. But if they're giving it as a bonus, I think there's like a 40% tax almost. Like with state and federal put together, it's like 40%. So instead of giving like half of his money away, he gets the whole fucking thing. You know?
Right. So if they give it in that way, it sounds almost more like a loophole for him to say, "Well, I'm being paid for development."
Yeah, exactly.
$15 million.
So if he can prove that he used
mean,
that money to develop something, then
as an executive, he can simply say he did because he was involved in development, right? That's his pay for it, I guess. You could I don't know what his exact argument is going to be, but I mean, yeah, it could very well just be a tax loophole being used in order to give him a bunch of money, because that's what these companies do, is they just pay executives shit tons of money.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
And he has control of it, so he gets to decide that it's his, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's see here.
It's it's very potentially a shitty situation, but potentially legal.
Okay, we'll do two more because there's only one big thing we should talk about. But first, let's talk about a message for Pokemon video game fans. So this is from Game Freak. Junichi Masuda, the producer of Pokemon Sword and Shield, from Game Freak. Game Freak makes all the Pokemon games that we grew up with on Game Boy and shit. So the big news was that they're taking out a bunch of generations from the new game. Like a bunch of the new Pokemon.
Oh, shit.
They're limiting it to like a certain amount of Pokemon. And people were like, oh my god.
They're limiting it to newer generations or older generations?
They're taking, I forgot exactly, but there's like some that are just not going to be in it and some that are going to be in it. And there's people that are like, what the fuck? That was my favorite Pokemon, you know, so.
There's a shit ton of Pokemon. I don't blame them.
Me neither. There's like almost like what, 600, 700 now? Something like that.
I don't know. I can't keep track. They keep making new ones.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already lost. So they're like, we're limiting it because think about it. Pretty sure they got rid of Gen 4 and earlier. So Generation 4 and earlier. Holy shit. So if you think about
Rest
it from
in peace, Pikachu.
Yeah, from a game development perspective, like if you're making it on a Game Boy, that's like sprites, you know, no big deal. You're making it on a full 3D game, all the animations, all the everything, like to make it like a fully fleshed out game. That's fucking insane.
All
dude.
The actions, you gotta think of moves and you know, all this other stuff that goes balance wise and like.
Yeah, so people got super butthurt, and he pretty much was saying like, I know you guys are upset, and I'm sorry. I wish we could do it. Like he was just like asking for forgiveness, and
But I mean, plus it's like getting rid of earlier generations makes sense as well, because you're looking at more and more kids growing up with the newer generations.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to start chopping off earlier generations.
Yeah, and I kind of get it because there have been like transfer systems for these Pokemon games where like the Pokemon you had from Pokemon Red, you could eventually transfer it to like all the newer games, and then like it's the same Pokemon you had from when you were a kid is in the new game that which I get that shit. I get it, but I mean, come on, man. There has to be an end at some point. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. But last piece of news that we'll talk about is EA had to go to court, and their lawyers said that loot boxes are not gambling, but they're called surprise mechanics, and they're quite ethical.
Yes.
So
yes, our surprise mechanics are quite ethical. Thank you.
Yeah, so this was in front of the UK Parliament because the UK Parliament wanted to talk to them about the whole loot box thing. It's the Gambling Commission, and they're taking a closer look at it. And this is going to happen here too. So this is like a foreshadowing what will happen here. And lawmakers here are looking at what's going on over there. The companies are looking at it, and they want to know, like, you know, once it gets here, what the fuck should we do? We should be prepared for it. So EA's fucking VP of legal in front of a judge said it's not gambling. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's a mechanic of the game that is like a surprise, and it's along the same lines as like Magic cards or Pokemon cards,
which are loot boxes.
Yeah,
which are loot boxes. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
because she directly said he asked her a question, and I watched the clip, and he used the word loot box, and she goes, to correct him, she's like, well, they're not loot boxes. They're surprise mechanics.
Yeah, and they're
And I was
quite
like,
ethical.
bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he just kept using loot boxes.
Yeah, he kept saying it, right?
He was like, he like completely ignored her and was like, your loot boxes or whatever you want to call them. In other words, saying like, I don't care what you want to call them, they're loot boxes because that's what they are.
Yeah.
And so are card packs. Card packs are loot boxes.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. But the thing about card packs is like you got to give your kid $20 and then they go buy it.
But
and this is like their argument is like, but this is like your credit card's connected and shit like that.
Right,
know?
and other stuff like that is where it's like, okay, I have less issue with card packs because you go and you spend $2 on a card pack and you get it.
Yeah.
And that's the game. That is the game. Right?
Exactly.
There you go. You got cards for the game, and that's how you actually play the game. For loot boxes, you pay $60 to play a game, and then you have to use loot boxes to progress in an EA game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
way different.
Yeah, I don't play FIFA, but apparently FIFA still has that whole mechanic of pay to win.
It's where they're like, it's like where they're testing out all their unethical stuff is with FIFA because people just buy stupid people that play stupid sports games. Isn't Prince a sports game player?
He plays
Doesn't
FIFA,
he play FIFA,
so he knows shit.
You little bitch.
Tag in.
That's where they're like testing all this stuff because people just buy the new FIFA and put up with whatever because they don't care. They're just gonna buy the new FIFA. So this is like where they're testing all this stuff.
Yeah, and then there's that whole like argument where it's like, you don't own games anymore because let's say if I have FIFA 2015, those servers are gone. They're not live.
Yep.
So if I have that game, it's useless. Like I can't play it unless I just want to do local, you know? But if I want to play online, that whole feature is gone. Those servers are dead. So, and Prince says, I only play FIFA career mode and online squads. Yeah, so you just play with your buddies, nothing serious. But I guess if you want to play like serious rank mode or whatever, you can use the way loot boxes work in FIFA. From what I've read, is they give you cards, and those cards are just like the Star Wars Battlefront, where it was like do plus 10% more damage, you know, stuff like that. So FIFA has all kinds of pay to win, all kinds. Like you just have better accuracy when you kick, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. EA is definitely the most egregious when it comes to pay to win.
Absolutely.
I think pay to win mechanics. I think pay to win is fucked up. I don't think it should be banned, but I think it should like be front and center known for. It should be on the fucking box when you buy the game. It should say pay to win mechanics. Like that's what it should literally say that. You know what I mean? Because it's some people are okay with that. There's whales that are like, I'm fine with that. You know?
Right. And I'm fine with that kind of stuff too if it's cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
To an extent, you know what I mean? Like League of Legends. And of course it's different too because League of Legends is a free game.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, like, I don't know. When you pay $60 and then have to roll loot box, like fucking Overwatch.
Yeah.
You know, when you pay $60 to play Overwatch and then have to buy loot boxes to play, you know, get cosmetic stuff, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's shitty.
And the other thing is, there's pay to win mechanics in life, dude. Like when I would go to a nightclub in the back days, as my wife would say. When we would go to a nightclub, if we wanted to skip the line, we would just pay the bouncer $20, $30, sometimes $100 if he was a dick, and we would literally just skip the line and walk in. And that's a pay-to-win mechanic, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? I paid the guy, so he let me through. And the nightclub doesn't want them doing that because they pocket the money, and it just ruins the whole system. But it exists, and I'm able to take advantage of it because of capitalism. That's it, you know? So there's a part of this that I feel like pay to win should not be banned, but it should also be known. It's the kids, dude. This is all just about the kids. That's what it is. It's ignorant parents and kids that don't understand the value of money mixed together, and so people are feeling scammed, and they want they want EA to be accountable for it. That's all it is. They want these people to be accountable for it, and I get that. I totally get that too. So it's a tough situation, but we'll see. Anyway, your phone's blowing up, so let's end this Let's end this podcast. Are you gonna go to work?
No. I ain't on call or no shit like that.
All
Thank
right,
God.
good.
Fucking hell.
That's it for the podcast, guys. Do you have anything to plug?
No, nothing I can think of.
Okay. Well,
I ain't do shit. I ain't gonna do shit for you fuckers.
Yeah, my stream has been on hiatus because of life and being a father.
Life, you're a daddy boy. You're a daddy.
I'm a daddy boy. So if you guys want to be never mind. But stream's on hiatus right now. The Wise and Sassy podcast, we have just started doing YouTube. We have live video now. It's me and wife sitting down. Our first episode just dropped on YouTube, the Wise and Sassy podcast. Go check it out. Been making cyberpunk content.
When are y'all gonna make your Pornhub account?
I know, right? That's coming up. That's when when we need to pay that mortgage. I've been making cyberpunk content. John the Wise on YouTube as well. I've really been focusing on that. And I will get the Cyberpunk game going again, Chimbles. I promise you. It will happen. But other than that, nothing else really to report for you guys. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys next week for some more point-and-click podcasts. How about that? Bye. I knew you were holding that shit.
I don't know if you're going to say bye or what. There you go.
All right, later, dudes. Thanks a lot. Love you, Prince.
We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away.
It smelled like wet dog. We pretend people care about our opinions. We pretend people care about our opinions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Point Click Podcast. There's just a couple of good guys, virtue signaling their life away. So stay woke, stay fresh,